Peace, 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 peace. I was going in here and doing some chart work for you guys. All right, starting out with the Nasdaq. What we're doing is looking at a pennant. To be honest with you, is what I'm seeing. Bigger time frame, weekly. It's looking like a double bottom situation here. This is a pretty strong support level, which could be easily broken with CPI coming out tomorrow. All right. Also, you want to pay attention to the upward on the RSI. All right. It's very important. It's not divergence or anything like that, but it is important to see that momentum shift. And then we have the 50-day moving average here, which is an EMA. All right. Coming down. Definitely going to end up being tested at some point. As you can see, the downward slope is looking like it's coming a little flatter or whatever. You do have the trend line down here to kind of navigate the price for resistance. All right. As you can see, we had rejection here on the 13th with CPI. CPI again tomorrow. And as you can see, as far as the actual movement, you got the move coming all the way down to support, and then we're in a pullback, which is a double bottom situation here as well. All right, we broke through the neckline on Friday, and then Monday we continued all the way up. As you can see, the volume is not that strong on the way up, so that's a clear indication of the direction that price may be going forward. Nice little evening star situation going on right here, or morning star, whatever you want to call it. The last 3 days of movement had downward volume. Okay, so we'll see what the volume is today. But starting from the daily chart, you can already understand how it would make sense for the market to kind of reject this 38% level and then drop back down to support. All right. Now, as we move to the lower time frames, it's a little bit more obvious on what's happening. 4 hour chart. All right. As you can see, it looks like a double top situation going on right here. Very, very weak volume on the way up, flattening out a little bit. We'll see what happens today. And then as we get down to the 1 hour chart, you can see the weakness, almost like another double bottom situation going on the 1 hour chart. So we got a lot of double bottom, I'm sorry, double top, my bad, double top. All right, so we got a lot of double tops, 4 hour double top, 1 hour double top, double bottom on the daily and the weekly. All right, so the market is kind of moving like that. So that's how we're gonna play it out, and then we go all the way down to the 5 minute chart, and you can see it almost looks like a triple top situation. All right, so then you got the neckline area right around here, and that would be a situation that will give you a pretty good heads up on where the market may potentially be going once the market ends up opening up. Don't be surprised if we consolidate in this range for the whole day in anticipation for the CPI report tomorrow. All right, that's a high possibility. If you're using your algos, you can just pretty much be patient and wait for the trigger. But at the same time, you could be monitoring this to make sure you understand what's actually happening on a smaller time frame. All right, so we go back to the ES. Um, pretty similar situation with the ES. If I zoom out, I got a lot of support and resistance levels that I have marked off here, but it's not that different than what you see on the Nasdaq. The reason why I started with the Nasdaq is because that's the instrument that I'm choosing to trade with in order to get access to capital through the prop trading accounts. The Nasdaq moves very, very quickly and volatile enough for me to get my profit target with just a few trades rather than trading with the ES and potentially dragging out the process. I don't know exactly what will work best with the Nasdaq, but the Nasdaq gives me a pretty good amount of room. Excuse me, pretty good amount of room on each move that would allow me to catch $2,000-3,000 trades very easily on any given day. So that's the instrument that I'm pretty much rocking with right now. And once we secure that capital, we'll be able to go with a little slower market like the ES. So I think that the Nasdaq strategy is something that you guys should definitely be looking at in order to secure the capital, and then go with the slower market after the fact. So very similar situation with ES. The only difference that I'm looking at would be how I put position the fib on. All right, so as you can see on the daily chart, you have the pullback, golden zone, consolidation, breaking to the upside, trend line right here that could be broken to the upside. All that stuff is possible when in reference to the daily chart. All right, we go down to the 4-hour chart. You can see similar double top situation here, neckline down here, minor support level, major support level. All that could be broken with a bad CPI report tomorrow. All right, but in the meantime, we'll see what happens as far as how the market is moving. Nice consolidation zone that we broke out of last week. Retested the breakout on Monday. All right, um, basically consolidated for a minute. 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock bounce was the last test, and then we've been rising up ever since then. But the rise has been on very low volume. All right, so if I put the volume bars on the S&P, you can see very similar downward move in the volume, upward move in price. All right, so that's the ES, and then as you go down to the 1-hour chart, you can see similar situation here, double top. I don't know if you want to, look at that as a super solid double top situation. It is a little lopsided, but the RSI is giving you pretty good understanding of what it actually is. To me, I would look at it as a double top. All right, so that's ES, that's NASDAQ. We can go to the Dow real quick. All right, not too much different. Put the fib on this, swing low to swing high. You can see 38% retracement, bounce right off of that level. All right, nice major support level with price action based on previous price. All right, just consolidated above the 38% level and the 50-day EMA, and then we kind of broke away from it. All right, and then if I put the volume on this, you can see rise in price, decrease in volume. So it's letting you know that the direction is probably going to end up shifting to the downside. This is a fib move. In most cases, when you get a 38% bounce on support, you pretty much get a strong move to the upside, probably all the way to the Fibonacci extension level 1. As you can see in this scenario, it's not looking like it wants to go that route, but I'm pretty sure everybody's kind of waiting on the CPI to make that final they want to buy or sell, and for the long term. Moving ahead, this is beginning of 2023, so a lot of people are kind of just waiting to see how everything is going to happen. And CPI will definitely give us a good indication on where we are in that inflation situation. All right, so the gold is very interesting. All right, as you can see, I got a lot of levels marked off. The last resistance level that I had marked off just got broken. All right, so we just kind of consolidating inside of that range right now. As you can see, as the price has been going up, the volume has been dropping. So I'm anticipating a pretty big drop on the gold. All right, and as far as the signal is concerned, we're already kind of gearing up for a gold signal to the downside. So once this price breaks through the channel to the downside, I'll give you guys a sell signal, and you could, be able to catch that gold move. And gold moves very, very quickly and very, very volatile. It's a high possibility that we could see a move within the next 15 minutes. All right, a lot of stuff going on with the dollar, a lot of stuff going on with the economy in general, but the dollar specifically, and I'll check that out in a second. As we go down to the smaller time frame, you can see we got some divergence as far as pricing the RSI. Price is going up. We got two peaks, higher high, lower high on the RSI, so that's a good indication that price is going to end up dropping to the downside. Also, you want to make sure you monitor this bearish engulfing candle currently that we have on the 4-hour. All right, and then support level here, price tested, broken through. All right, bounced off of it. Now it's coming back. Probably gonna end up testing it again. And judging about the volume on the daily chart and the upward move, you could probably end up breaking the support level and then headed back down to the next minor support level that I have marked off here. So support to support, that's about a 244 tick drop right there. So an easy $2,400 if you are able to catch a push to the downside today, if that's actually the case. All right, so we don't know yet, but we will be on board looking to monitor that situation. If you want to put a trend line on this for another level of price action support, you could do that. All right, but that will probably put you in a little later, so you may miss this one. Catch the break here, short it down to this support level, and then possibly down to this support level here at around 782.9. All right, so that's all possibility. All right, moving along. All right, oil is something that I've been looking at. Haven't been trading it recently. Definitely developing a strategy which involves the RSI, MACD, some moving averages, and support and resistance levels. I've been basically drafting that up, testing it, looking at the current movement that we have here, and seeing how it is throughout throughout this period of time. I'm pretty sure I gave you guys a buy signal for oil back when it was around this price right here. All right, it's consolidated since then, and then it broke to the upside, came back down, double bottom, and now it's probably going to hit this resistance level here. So that would have been a swing trade, but holding this would have been very, very difficult for anybody to go through. But we are gearing towards getting closer and closer to a nice swing trade strategy with oil, which will eventually put us in position to where we can hold these type of trades in our individual accounts overnight and swing trade oil for a week, 2, 3 weeks, or a month for as far as the duration of the holding period, and give us pretty profitable situations from time to time. All right, so from support to resistance, that's a $3,200 trade opportunity right there if you are willing to hold it. Can't exactly remember when I told you guys that it was probably looking ready for a buy, but if we calculate that time frame, that's about 6 days. So that's not really that much time for you to be looking at making about 3 grand. So I'm very excited about it, and I've been drafting it up, waiting for a few different things, and then I'll be able to plug that into a system and have an automated strategy that will allow us to execute this type of strategy and have it for a swing trade strategy. All right, I'm really interested in developing swing trade strategy algos that will put us in the trades like that, and let the algos that we have, like the X Factor and whatnot, focus on like day trade opportunities. I'm more so interested in swing trade opportunities and day trade opportunities, but we need to be able to day trade in order to continue to grow our capital base, especially with these prop trading firms. So we need those day trade strategies, and we have one that we are using now. So I'm cool with that. I'll let that rock out, and then focus on developing strategies like this that will allow us to take trades like this. All right. So oil, gold, those are not necessarily assets that you want to anticipate trading on a day-to-day basis. A lot of people do it, but I've seen more success with swing trading these assets. All right, so because situations like this will happen, and the move start at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're not really going to be able to catch this buy at 1 o'clock in the morning. Most of us aren't. I know I wouldn't. And then trying to come in right here, I'd probably pass up on that more than likely. You know what I'm saying? So if buying in back here would have been the play, and then you would have just had to deal with the ups and downs, which it's not that big of a deal as long as you don't have extremely large amount of drawdown. But buying at these support levels will give you a better opportunity. You know what I mean? So that's what we're gearing up for in the future, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. All right. Soybeans, haven't really checked on that in a minute. Again, I was one of the assets that I wasn't really liking how it was moving, even though it was trending up. It was very choppy, and it still is. It's been consolidating for a while. I'm gonna leave that alone and let that marinate. All right. As far as the treasuries are concerned, as you can see, daily chart showing you, we had a very, very good opportunity to catch a short here as price was rejecting this resistance area. We had a nice trend line. The trend line got broken. We telegraphed that play for you guys, and then we also telegraphed the potential pullback once price hit the support level that we already had marked up. So price hit the support level, and then we saw that we had divergence on the RSI, and then we capped up, and now we back up to resistance again, looking like we're potentially double topping. All right. So again, the notes very, very slow market to trade, but if you chart and you're good at charting and you're good at monitoring on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, you can catch very, very profitable swing trade opportunities with the 10-year, and they're very cheap contracts for you to get into. So I would advise for you guys to really pay attention to this market. And there are some fundamental things that you could look at that will help you understand where it may potentially be going in the future. But I think I've done a pretty good job of giving you guys an understanding on how, or like how I see the market moving. The catalyst for this drop off had everything to do with the Japan market. And since the Japan market played out exactly how we thought for the most part, you saw the decline in the treasuries, and now you're getting a move to the upside. So the strength in the treasury market is stemming from the weakness on the dollar. All right, so we look at the dollar. You can see the dollar dropping. All right, it's been dropping. If we zoom out, get a better look at that on a bigger time frame, you can see we're at a support level right now. A lot of people asking questions about the strength of the dollar and where we're at because there's a lot of people out there who are saying that the dollar is crashing. It's all about perspective. At the end of the day, if you believe that the dollar is crashing when it's in the middle of a bullish channel, that wouldn't make much sense. As far as the pullback is concerned, if you are understanding how to do technical analysis, you would know that we're not even at a 50% retracement. So for people to think that the dollar is crashing, it's understandable for them to believe that. But as far as the technicals are concerned, if we hold at the support level, then we will be looking to trade this all the way back up to the top of the channel. If we break through the support level, then we will be looking to short this all the way down to the bottom of the channel. And if we break to the bottom of the channel, now we can talk about the dollar crashing. But right now, I don't really see that as something that we should be anticipating at this particular point, seeing how the market has gone completely bullish all the way from June of 2021. Now we're finally getting a pullback, and the pullback hasn't even reached the 50% level. So I think people are doing a little bit too much when it comes to predicting what these markets are going to do. I'm not really into trying to predict anything at this point. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm keeping track of everything and monitoring it so that I'm ready in case anything happens. Bitcoin is something that we haven't talked about in a while. I had a live stream yesterday when we talked about the FTX stuff. It is something that you definitely want to make sure you are aware of. But as of right now, it's not really anything as far as the setup is concerned with Bitcoin. But it is interesting how price is responding once it broke through the support level, which was holding for a good 2 3 months. All right, it finally broke through in November, and then it's been consolidating again. So we kind of have a new support level for the most part around this area here. All right, and I would call that like minor support right there. All right, so very, very choppy, slow market, nothing really significant happening here. But it is something that we could definitely look at picking up in volume here pretty soon. We know Bitcoin doesn't stay that stagnated for long. And what I mean by that is I'm not necessarily talking about a trend per se, but a big move. All right. So when I say big move, I'm talking about a drop through like that. All right. A drop like that. All right. Those moves are the ones that I anticipate and live for. This drop off right here. This drop off right here. So it'll consolidate for a long time and then it'll get to the point where it just drops. So it's very important for you to make sure you understand where the support and resistance levels are because those are the levels that you need to be trading. So as March is moving up on low volume, you can anticipate another drop. All right, where are you going to come in at? Probably the last line of defense would be the 15,653 area. And then if you wanted to get a little closer, you can get in around this area here, which is about 16,429. So there are a couple of different accounts that you can get that will allow you to trade with margin. One of the ones that I was looking at before, let me see, can't remember the name of it. It was a new account that I had just opened up to get access to margin trading with crypto. And let's see, what is it? 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 Kraken. Yeah, it's Kraken. I gave you guys that before. Kraken, yeah. So Kraken allows you to trade with margin. You just gotta go ahead and open up an account and then send some money over there. Um, so when it looks like the move is about to happen, I will either do that or just trade the Bitcoin futures. It's probably just easier to just trade the Bitcoin futures, seeing how we already have brokerage accounts set up that will allow us to do that. It's just the Bitcoin futures market is a little different when it comes to the actual chart, but for the most part, we still kind of have the same type of levels. It's just prices are going to be a lot different, all right, because it's a micro. All right, so we got similar situation here when it comes to price action, but not that exact. All right, so but it's, a level is a level. So we look at August here drop. We look at the November drop. You're still gonna get the same drop. It's not gonna look the same. So I like to do my charting on the Bitcoin chart just to show where the levels are, and then if I want to trade the future, I could just go down to the micro Bitcoin futures chart and then kind of make similar levels on that chart. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Just wanted to jump in here and explain some of the photos that I've been sending into the Discord. I know some of you new guys are probably looking at those charts and like, I don't know what I'm looking at. That was just to give you some understanding on what exactly that is, what those patterns mean, and what I'm talking about, and how I'm explaining it. As you get deeper and deeper into your studies, you will gain a better understanding on that um, what actually that stuff that I'm explaining means when it pertains to technical analysis and whatnot. So I will be looking at the Nasdaq. Hopefully we can get a signal today. But if not, we will be anticipating a move tomorrow. And other than that, good luck. All right, appreciate you guys. Peace.